Welcome to BodyWork. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to BodyWork Boxing. It feels so good to be back. What's going on with y'all out there, man? What's going on, man? Where are my night owls? Listen. Linda, listen, man. Listen. There's still some boxing talk going on a Sunday night. You know what I'm saying? It's still some stakes being put in the ground. There's still some work that's being done. Or at least you can't tell me otherwise. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, there's somebody out there that still need a fix, Mike. Who are you not to give it to him? Because if it come down to just one, if I could just convince just one of y'all boxing fans out there that you ain't going crazy, baby. My mission is accomplished, baby. So I'm like, man, because I could have made it real sensational. I could have really souped it up. I could have really been like, hey, man, I'm gonna go ahead and make it to where this is what it's all about. But I really want to. I'm really trying to really see who rock with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I could have been on my. I could have made it look like, you know what I'm saying, that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? I could have made it like that's what it was tonight. You know what I'm saying? I know I would have got a whole different crowd, but I really wanted to see on a Sunday night when the state of boxing is up in arms, because I told you, you can see something with your own eyes that happen in the fight. You can go to sleep, have a real good night. You can wake up in the morning, hear somebody that say something, and then your mind ain't right. You be thinking they speaking facts, but nah, it ain't right. I wanted to say something about this. You know what I'm saying? I really wanted to say something about this because in the article I read, it's saying that his coach confirmed that this is what it is, but it's really no news on that. That's really what I wanted to do. But I said, man, I want people that's going to chime in regardless who I talk about. Arnaldo Nieve, salute BodyWork. Salute Arnaldo. You know what I'm saying? Strong representative. When you come in, hit the like button. I normally don't ask, but I'm like, man, people are making the killing off of the information. So over here, where we don't ask for no super chats, we don't ask for no donations. When you come on in, hit that like button for your boy. You already know I'm going to do that body work. You did? I'm going to do that body work. This saludos, not solid. Yeah, I got you, dog. I got you, Arnaldo. I know what you mean, man. I was just telling, I was texting my sister the other night. I said, hey, listen, because she's a stickler when it comes to those text messages. I was like, hey, listen, man. I speak a fluent broken English, man. I speak a fluent broken text, man. Don't even worry about all that, Ronaldo. I'm just glad that you in the building, cuz. And I'm hoping more people come in, man. Like, where all my boxing heads at, man? If you in the building, man, share the chat, man. Share the channel, man. Share the channel, man. Hit the like button, man. Like, share the link. Share the link. Share the link, man. They will come in. Yeah, he's saying they gonna come in, man. My man in here, man. First one in the building, man. Oh, hey, I appreciate it, man. I will share it now. Yeah, man. I appreciate you, bro. Because I'm not coming with no BS, man. I'm coming with that hot fire. You know what I'm talking about? It's really what it is, man. State of Boxing Sundays, you know what I'm saying? You now rocking with your boy. You know what I'm saying? You now rocking with Bodywork, man. You are now rocking with Bodywork. Hector Tapia, blessings, my brother, in time to body work. You know what I'm saying? Yes. We gonna do some body work tonight. You know what I'm saying? We digging down, we digging real deep on tonight. If you wasn't here last night, you're gonna get a little something that was here from last night. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who shared in and rocked with me last night, you're gonna get a little something tonight that was done last night. But we're gonna get into some boxing, man. We really got to get into some boxing, man, because I think we really got to get an understanding on what's going on out here, man. Like, because it's still going on. There's still a lot that we really need to know out here on these boxing streets, man. There are some things that we really need to know. And since it's a dog-eat-dog word out here, man, some people will they do all kind of things. I just want to get down to the basics. And it's only really one one type that I really want to go over in a traditional sense of things. But hey, with no further ado, man, enough of y'all done got in. It's no way. Hey, let them pile in, let them catch up, let them get the playback, you know what I'm saying, since way back. But what is gaslighting? Gaslighting is the action of repetitively and often brazenly lying to someone to manipulate and ultimately control them and the relationship. It could be divided into 4 different types: outright lying, manipulation of reality. Manipulation of reality is the most common, y'all. You got to understand that. Manipulation of reality is the most common. Scapegoating, putting stuff off on others, like, we discount that, but yeah, it's a form of gaslighting. But I'm telling you, manipulation of reality is the most popular one, and coercion. So then let me ask, common tactics used in gaslighting: misdirection. The abuser changes the subject or redirects the conversation to confuse the victim. Minimization. The abuser downplays the victim's feelings, making them feel like their concerns are insignificant or like they're being overly sensitive. And I can see we've gotten a lot better in that. So, I mean, as far as gaslighting, I don't really have anything to harp on as far as gaslighting, as long as we know the signs and the symptoms. But first, I want to go over something that I put out last night. You know what I'm saying? Josh John, what up, bro? Salute. You know what I'm saying? Chop it up, brother. Hey, that's what I'm about to do, cuz. You know what I'm saying? But I really wanted to get into something I went into last night, and that was the fact that this was the thumbnail, because they were all but actually saying that this fight was actually happening. And for those that were not there to actually see, because I did a little stink bomber, you know what I'm saying? I put a little bomb, a little miniature bomb in the live yesterday, that if you was really paying attention, you would have got an update on the Subriel Matias. But it was a little check on learn to see who really rocking with me, only because I talk about Subriel Matias, or did I really get down? But yesterday I did a little something where I really talked about an update on Subriel Matias and what he got going on, but nobody really caught on to it. So I said, yo, I can't knock him, because that's all they really checking for. How can I blame him? With the way boxing is going, how can I blame him? I said I can't shame him. So I was saying, man, like, how can I blame him? You know, so I said, but shoot, I'm just gonna get back down to business. And then I came across the article. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get into the article. We're gonna read it. Subriel Matias, Leon Paro set for June in Puerto Rico. Now, I did this yesterday. This is a bonus for everybody that want to come back today. But by Sonny Waghorn, Subriel Matias will face Liam Paro in June in Puerto Rico. Subriel Matias will face Liam Paro in June in Puerto Rico. Make sure. Let me see. I'm reading it now. Okay, so you looking at it. So I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna get back into the article. Just the article. Boxing scene. Subriel Matias, Leon Paro set for June in Puerto Rico. Got my man Subriel with his whole squad right there. You know what I'm saying? Even got my man in the background, Manuel Rodriguez. Subriel Matias will face Leon Paro in June in Puerto Rico by Sonny Waghorn. IBF super lightweight champion Matias recently made the switch from PBC to Matchroom, and he will make his Matchroom debut against Paro, who is coming off a destructive knockout of countryman Brock Jarvis in 2022 and a 6-round stoppage of Montana Love in December. That's a big ground to cover from 2022 to December of 2023. You know what I'm saying? He had a knockout and a stoppage. Okay. Paro, 24-0 with 15 knockouts of Australia, was the front runner to face Matias, but talks reportedly stalled and other options were explored. Paro ultimately came back to the table. Yes, after several attempts with several opponents, yes, he is Subriel's opponent. Confirmed Matias manager Pedro Cruz. He will be fighting Subriel in June in Puerto Rico. Matias is a hot property after winning fight straight since his lone career loss to Petros Ananyan in 2020. A defeat Matias avenged in 2020. Matias, 31, captured the IBF title by stopping Jeremiah Ponce, then 30-0 in 5 rounds. Last time out, He bested Shojahan Ergashev, then 23-0, forcing his retirement in 6 rounds. Cruz said his fighter is already shaping up for Paro, a southpaw challenger he highly rates. Very good fighter, excellent fighter, Cruz said of Paro. But Subriel is already quartered in Mexico preparing for Liam Paro. After Matias signed with Matchroom, the promoter made it clear he wanted an immediate homecoming fight for Matias. Several names were initially in the mix, and although Paro received a nod, Matchroom still had designs on other big names at 140 pounds, where Matchroom's Devin Haney holds the WBC title. Rolando Romero owns the WBC belt, and Teofimo Lopez wears the WBO crown. And I said, since we're looking at boxing scene, we got to look at it. Matchroom's Devin Haney holds the WBC title. So Devin Haney is associated with a title. Rolly Romero owns the WBA belt. So Rolly Romero is associated with a belt. And Teofimo Lopez wears the WBO crown. So Lopez is associated with a crown. Very interesting, where they're all the same designation. But if you're talking about a casual or a hardcore, you might get your head spun around, shorty. It was Elvis Rodriguez, Michelle Rivera. There was Steve Claggett. There was Gabriel Valenzuela and Liam Paro, Cruz said. And Matchroom chose Liam Paro. So Matchroom chose Liam Paro. It is a voluntary defense. That's why Liam Paro was chosen. But we are ready to fight any of the elites. We just need to be given the opportunity. And that's that. So that's the article that I read yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Let me go back down, man. And I salute to all y'all, man. I salute to all y'all. They will come in. I will share it now in the challenge. Okay. What up? I got all the way down there. I'm just making sure I got everybody. Chop it up, brother. He said, look, he said, I'm reading it now. Ghost said, salute everyone. Cookie Monster. She said, body work. You know what I'm saying? Bernardo said, link share, brother. Okay, so we in there. We got the definition on that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a couple things that came out to where they basically said that it is going down. You know, we have not had any official word. We have not had any official date. But at the 140 division, we already know, man, it's more than likely it's going to be Liam Paro against Subriel Matias in his home country. We do know that. The other thing I want to do, man, is I really want to go down, do the division of 135. You know what I'm saying? I do really want to go down the division of 135. And let's do this. Because I was kicking it with my homies, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to explain some things earlier, and I had already been over some things. I was just like, man, let me see what's going on. Let me see how they rocking. You know what I'm saying? But this how we rocking. If you want to see me, man, I'm still here. I'm over here. You know what I'm saying? But I want to be more about the content and, you know, what we got going on than anything else. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna expand it. So when it comes to the 135 lightweight rankings, right? We're looking at this thing, right? And really what I did last night was I did a scouting report for Shakur Stevenson. That's what my assignment was last night. I was there to look at Floyd Schofield. We're going to figure out who he is in these rankings. And also, I was trying to figure out who is William Zepeda. And we're going to figure out where it is on these rankings. Because although I didn't go too in-depth with gaslighting and all that, there will still be some gaslighting. There will be some agendas. There will be some things that's going on that people are not going to be able to understand or describe. But yet they are going on. So I'm just here to let you know the real going on. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do a state of boxing. I'm going to have an emphasis on the 135 division. I'm going to bring it all the way down. Because last night was a double title eliminator. But because of where the boxer was, maybe some people really didn't understand like what was really going on and how it all pans out. Well, we're going to figure that out today. And we're going to uncover some things. We're going to put down a stake in the ground, and we're actually going to go over some things and some people and some profiles so that going forward, the excuse of, oh, I don't know who that is. Oh, man, why he getting so much credit for such and such? And the way people dismiss people just because of where they're ranked and the fact that they don't really know their name. We're going to dismiss a lot of that on this evening. You feel me? Let me just make sure everything is looking all copacetic. Yep, it sure is. So we're looking at the 135-pound division, right? The lightweight division. This is a 135-pound division. So as you look over here, we look over here with the WBC. Shakur Stevenson has that title. He fought De Los Santos, who is now ranked number 5. Right here. Because remember, it was supposed to be Frank Martin. Frank Martin said, no, I don't want none. So he wanted to fight Edwin De Los Santos. Right? So that's who has that title with the WBC. When we look at it, William Zepeda, the same one who fought last night, he was already number 1 right here to challenge Shakur Stevenson for the WBC. So really, if Oscar De La Hoya was really all about all that he said, if you really wanted to lock in a mega fight right away to where they can start building it, crafting it, however you want it, with the least opportunity of any kind of room for error, he would do that right now. A smart, prudent businessman would do that right now. Now, because he's laced up the gloves, he's probably going to be a legendary Hall of Famer, being that his name is Oscar De La Hoya. One can say he knows a lot more than me, right? One could also say that he would be stupid if right now, since William Zepeda is number 1, fighting for a WBC belt, Shakur Stevenson has that belt. Shakur Stevenson has expressed that he actually wants to make that opportunity available. I would take that fight. Why? Because if you lose to Shakur Stevenson, you lose to who I call the definition of a boxer. The culmination, the ultimate epitome of somebody who hits and doesn't get hit. Can it be beat? Yes, it can. Can you do it? We don't know. That's where we're at. So, William Zepeda was number 1 for the WBC, which is Shakur Stevenson's belt. Now, he fought a title eliminator. What did he fight a title eliminator for, Mike? William Zepeda was number 1 next to who? None other than the mega superstar, hard-hitting, knockout artist, boxing extraordinaire, Gervonta Tank Navy. Yeah. Boom. Right there. He's right there. He's actually above Frank Martin. The one who Gervonta Tank Davis is actually linked to right now as we speak as being the next fight. Williams Zepeda was already above them. Well, Mike, what's the other title eliminator? Oh, let's go over here to the IBF, which is currently vacant. Meaning nobody holds that title right now since Devin Haney went up to 140. Abruptly, once Shakur Stevenson pressed him and said, hey, man, I'm running down on you. What's good? Holla at me. Devin came up with the felonious 25% and bounced. Shakur Stevenson fought this guy, Edwin De Los Santos. Since that was the WBC, this is what we're talking about. So, him and Frank Davis, best friends. Raymond Morataya, he's an Olympian. Williams Zepeda, we've already seen what he was able to do. Shakur Stevenson already has the belt, but at that time, Frank Martin, right here, said no to Shakur Stevenson. But Williams Zepeda said no. Then it took Rolly. They done took Isaac Pitbull Cruz out of the equation, but it would have been more names than that. But it was a bunch of people that actually said no to that fight. But because rankings have changed, some people have moved to 140. We don't really get the just due of what was actually going on with that situation. So really what we have here is the only belt that Williams Zepeda did not really, in essence, increase his stance in was right here with the WBO. Because it was already number one right here with the WBC, which of course Stevenson fought for that belt. Tank had the belt at the WBA. It was a title eliminator for him to be right there. Well, there's word with no real confirmation that Gervonta Tank Davis is actually fighting this number 2 guy right here, Frank Martin. But Williams Zepeda is right here, and he just fought a double eliminator for here, eliminator for there. The IBF, it's now vacant. Well, what do we have here? Maxie Hughes was number 4. Vasily Lomachenko and Kambosos is getting ready to fight for that. So when this guy fights this guy, they'll rise up here, and then this guy will actually go on here and fight the winner of this guy and this guy. And there you have it. Having already wiped out this guy, with this guy looking on the outside, with this guy right outside of Raymond Morataya, he's looking on the outside. Why? Because this guy, he's next in line for this. This guy, Williams Zepeda, can make this happen right away. Wow. For the title eliminator. Even though it's rumored that this guy would actually fight this guy for the title eliminator to be able to get this guy. So don't be saying who was he, because I remember when this guy, which is the same as this guy, which is the same as this guy, so a number 4 in the WBO, a number 2 in the WBA, and number 4 in the WBC is allegedly not ready for the guy who holds the strap at 135 in the WBA. Nobody can make that make sense, but it was all good when this guy was going to face this guy. Yet this guy decided it wasn't enough money. The only thing that made it farewell is the fact that he's linked to this guy right here. With him being number 2 in this line, behind a guy who we just seen last night being number 2 behind this guy, get ready to fight this guy. That's the only thing that makes that whole equation acceptable. This horseshoe. Frank and Tank. That's it. That's it. But I really want us to look at some things. I do. I want us to look at some things. I want us to look at this here. What I really want us to focus on is this WBO belt right here. Because everybody's talking about the IBF. Now, IBF is the one where when you weigh in, it's 10-pound rehydration. There's no way around it. They're the ones that's pretty strict. Don't really strip anybody. Pretty good on their mandatory when they actually petition and follow the paperwork. They pretty much get what they want. As long as you abide by the rules. That's what the IBF. We're talking about the WBO. I don't know when the last time Dennis Berinchek fought. It reported that he was going to be up in the runnings a long time ago. Angel Fierro, I would say fairly recent. William Zepeda, Saturday night. Frank Martin, a short layoff based on what he was accompanied to. If you take away the win against Michelle Rivera, who people thought he would lose, and then you also take his efforts to be able to win against, where's the guy at? This guy right here. Artem Harutyunyan. I would say Frank is very solid. A very solid guy. Somebody that you actually have to prepare for. He's athletically gifted. Maybe have a little bit of muscle on him more than I would actually like. But I think that somehow, some way, it influences or impacts your fluidity. You know, how limber you are. You know, how you can stretch. Things like that. But that's just my opinion. You still got Zaroa Abdulaev. You got Keyshawn Davis. And all these guys are below Frank Martin, Raymond Mortaia, and the whole crew. Edwin De Los Santos, Sam Noakes, Katsua Yasuda, Jose Matias Romero. That's what you have. So we actually got to see who are these guys. Like, we really got to look, like, when we really look at this, we really got to actually start really evaluating who are these guys. Okay, so over here where Shakur rules and reigns, we know who William Zepeda is, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. We do know who Raymond Mortaia is, right? Okay, cool. Keyshawn Davis. Do we know who Keyshawn Davis is? Okay. Frank Martin. Do we know who Frank Martin is? Okay. Maxie Hughes. Oh, only just like a smidge of y'all. Okay. Let's set Maxie Hughes to the side. Dennis Berinchek. No. Okay. Zaroa Abdulaev. No. Okay. Artem Harutyunyan. Okay, yeah, the guy who fought Frank Martin. Okay, you know him? Okay. Oh, okay. All right, cool. All right, okay, Artem. Pablo Vincente. Don't look at me with that "you must be kidding" face. And that's pretty much how it goes. You go down to the top 15. And if it's in there, if it makes sense, they'll make the fight happen. If not, they'll find an excuse. And you as a fan, depending on what side of the fence that you are on, is the side of the fence in which you'll be on. You know what I'm saying? Zepeda and Matias are sparring partners. Yes, sir. Pandas, trained fighters are rising. He's starting to get noticed for his work. Yeah, he is. Milazar Concebar, body work. That's right, body work. IBF and WBA title way better than the WBC. Man, that WBC is misleading, man. Champion Sports Boxing, salute, body work, and chat, salute. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate that. Milazar Concebar Loma versus Cambosos is for the IBF title. That's right. Salute, Milazar. We appreciate that. The IBF have 120 mandatory versus number one contender after winning vacant titles. The IBF has 120-day mandatory versus the number one contender after training vacant title. The promotion doesn't have a say in the matter. Okay. There's some there that have no idea who they are. Keyshawn versus Pater will be a great fight. Abdullah Mason versus Kid Austin. I agree. Puerto Rican Power, salute, familiar. That's what you know. You always know it's familiar. You know what I'm saying? I just felt good, man. I felt like I get out here and talk about this. But I actually wanted to kind of look up some of these guys, man, because a lot of times people say that they don't know who these guys are and, you know, what they're all about. And he said S.O.B. Melazar. I guess he used to telling his people what to say, how to move. Let me put that back up there, and then I want to go back over here. Let me see. I still want to go back over here. So we over here, right? And what we trying to figure out, that's the 140. That's the 147 division. But if we drop down here to the lightweight division, the division I'm talking about tonight, I want to know some of these guys, right? I want to make sure that I'm looking at this right. Like, yeah, like, don't y'all really want to know some of these guys? Don't y'all really want to know? Because a lot of people get around, like, basically because they have a large platform, they can kind of brush over names and, you know, things like that. But I kind of want to touch on this. Okay, so we know who William Zepeda is, right? So right now, for the Shakur Stevenson haters, who he might find himself rubbing up against William Zepeda. So for the people that actually hate on Shakur Stevenson, they're gonna actually take William Zepeda back. You also have some people that are especially for William Zepeda as well. Some of that may, you know, balance out or counteract each other to where it's no significant difference. We have William Zepeda here at number 1 for Shakur. We have him at number 1 for Gervonta Tank Davis. We have him at number 6 as far as the Vankit. And that's for the IBF. That's tough. William Zepeda is number 3 in the WBO. Frank is number 4 in the WBO. Frank is number 2 in the WBA. Frank is number 4 in the WBC. That's without me even scrolling down. Frank, he's already number 9. In the IBF. That's crazy, man. This is the state of boxing, man. So for me, what I want to know is because we often see. Now stop me. I always say stop me when I'm lying. I just want to make sure y'all still here. I want to make sure y'all still present and accounted for. Maxie said no mas. I think the 135 pounds is the most competitive. I think 140 is actually. Shakur versus let's see. Shakur versus Zepeda don't motivate me to watch. Zepeda versus Loma, I like it better. I can see that, Melazar. I can see that. Really what I wanted to get to is this. I don't really care about it. But when you look at it, right? You get like that. When you look at it, Williams Zepeda is number 1 here. Number 1 here. Number 6 here. Number 3 here. Who else is 1, 1, 6, 3? Rating wise. Let's look at Morataya. He's number 2 here. I don't see his name on the WBA. He's number 7 here. He's number 5 here. So he has a 2, 0, 7, 5. They don't take time to sit out and actually look at these things. Now look, Keyshawn Davis. He's number 3 on the same list as the belt that Shakur Stevenson fought for, but because they look at them like they're best friends, you'll never hear that comparison. You look at Keyshawn Davis, you don't see him over here in the top 11. He goes over here to the IBF, and wouldn't you know, number 5. What do you know? The WBO, number 6. Who does he have in front of him? Frank Martin, a guy that he been beefing with, and a guy, Williams Zepeda, who has options at this rank, and this rank, for sure. Plus the rank that you in. Look at Williams Zepeda right here. He dropped down at number 6 right here for the IBF. IBF strict as hell. Williams Zepeda is number 1 here. WBA, number 1 here. WBC. Even De Los Santos is right here. When it comes to when you're looking at competition, we need to be looking at this is why I really wanted to open this up for y'all. And really wanted to let my hair down, let y'all know what y'all really need to be looking at. For some people who don't know this guy, Dennis Peranchek, get to know him. Get to know this guy, Dennis Peranchek. Right? On the other hand, who was Angel Fierro? Who was Angel Fierro? That's why I wanted to bring this up. So let's just look up who is Angel Ferrero. Because people don't do this anymore. Then it'll be stopping me from getting in here. He cracking the code. Angel Fierro. Lightweight division. 5'7", 70-inch reach. So when we see who is Angel Fierro, we not gonna let him bullshit us. Now we're gonna go down his resume, but see, this is where the lab work goes, and why people say, oh man, who knows this guy, who knows that guy? Because somebody will see this and know that this man might not really be nothing to fuck with. Why? Because out of 22 fights, he done knocked 17 of them motherfuckers the fuck out. You dig? He lost once, but he didn't get knocked out. And he had 2 in the other column. I don't know if that's tie or what. I guess that's tie. He's only 25 years old. Fought 106 rounds. Has a 77% KO ratio. Started in 2015. He's Mexican, 5'7", with a 70-inch reach. From San Diego, California. That's that guy. But that's why we got to keep doing this. But they almost make it like this. I'm gonna do one more just to show y'all what we need to do as a collective. See, I went to the lightweights and it's doing something funny. But we all seen what could happen. Let's see. This is all I did. You go there, you start off at heavyweight, cruiserweight, light heavyweight, super middleweight, middleweight, super welterweight, junior middleweight, welterweight, super lightweight / junior welterweight. That's the 140 division. The most dangerous division in boxing right now. Look at that. Look at that division. That division is stacked. But what I was trying to tell y'all about 135 and how we need to look at it, we need to look at it like this, man. It's like we got to get to know these guys, because if you're going to shame this guy, William Zepeda, he's number 1 here, he's number 1 there, he's number 6 there, and he's number 3 there. And I think this is prior to his win. Raymond Morataya, he's number 2. People are giving bullshit when he's number 2 behind William Zepeda, next for Shakur. Like, you got Shakur fans crying, bitching, and moaning because of Raymond Morataya is right there. You gotta think, Keyshawn Davis, they're BFS, so that's never gonna happen. Frank Martin, he probably would want to see Shakur Stevenson, but Frank Martin might be attached to this guy. We just haven't had the word. That's what they saying is next. De Los Santos already fought this guy. A rematch has never been in question. Maxie Hughes just got just got his stuff knocked in the dirt. It just leads us to actually being able to watch and look. So the homework, the body work, is to go look up who is this Jose Valenzuela. if that's Ryu, that's Ryu. Who already went down with him, but it's reports that them two are going to do a rematch. We've seen Floyd Schofield win. Zepeda won. That's what the WBA looking for, Gervonta Tank Davis. So that's Ryu. Go look up Chan Thompson. That's homework. Fradmil Makayo. Go look that up. I'm just saying. These are homework. So when these names and these people come up, we're not going to get caught with our pants down. George Kambosos, we know who he is. Vasil, we know who he is. Maxie Hughes, that's the guy that fought last night. Keyshawn, we know who he is. William Zepeda, he's next in line. Remy Mortaya, he's the next champion that they're actually pushing. He's number 7 over here in the IBF, and at the same time, he's number 2 over here. And he's number 5 in the WBO. That will qualify as fruit salad. 5, 7, and 2. Or 275 or 257, or if you was a lottery playing man, you could always switch it up if you wanted. Drop the dude Dennis Baranchek, but we got to be familiar with who these guys' names are. Azar or Abdul-Alev, I don't know. Sharif Quay, we got to know who that is. Fradmil Makayo. Bunch of funny names on this list to where if you get past the 9th or the 10th, we don't know these people, who they are. So we got homework. Because we're not going to let, oh man, who is this? Who is that name? Not all about names, because oftentimes, yes, politics will allow somebody to get up in these rankings faster than not. But at the end of the day, skills do pay the bills. And if you get in there with people, reasonable people that respect the craft, people who know what's going on, and it don't look the way that you think it is, if the outcome isn't how you think it is, then you were tripping. So I'm thinking, man, we got to get to know who is this Juan Javier Carrasco. Who is that? Who is Lucas Body? Yeah, we got to go look at his highlights if that's all that's available. Yeah, we got to look at these people. Katsua Usada, Sam Noakes. Who is Sheriff Quay? Yeah. Angel Pereira. I feel like I've seen Angel Pereira before. But I would put that in my rucksack. I swear I've seen that before. I swear. Dennis Baranchek. We got to see what he look like. Juan Javier Carrasco. Zoe Abdallah. We know that was that big ass wind up of an overhand, right that he threw. Lucas Body. Yes, likewise. We got to see it. I got to see who Albert Batzergaziev is. I got to see it. Fradmil Makayo. I got to see it. Shannon Thompson. I got to see it. I believe I seen the Jose Valenzuela, because that's Ryu. Maxie Hughes, that makes sense. Floyd Schofield, he'll be the one. But Edwin De Los Santos, Frank Martin, William Zepeda, cool. Over here, Pablo Vicente Shuma Nakazata. I ain't even go down to the 15th, but I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes. I'm not trying to really paint no real pictures, but I'm just like, how can we really jog the minds of the people to where it's not all about that? It's really not all about reading the names and being peculiar and all this. It's really about when you want to analyze a fight and give a prediction, or if you want to really spend your money to support, you really know what you're getting with. You already know who's going up against who. You know what I'm saying? You really know what's really going on when you really break it down, because a lot of people don't even give everybody they just do. It's like, oh man, I know him, so I'm gonna ride with him, and oh man, there's no way he's gonna be. There's no way. It's like they have no vested interest in you, in your life. They just don't. Oh man, y'all cooking over here? Y'all cooking over here? Y'all been cooking that long? Let me see. Loma versus Camboso for the IBF title. That's next, which I think Zepeda's going to wait for. The IBF have a 1 in 20-day mandatory versus #1 contender after winning a vacant title. The promotion doesn't have a say in the matter. Cool. There's some there that have no idea who they are. That's why I said, that's why we got to get down to what I said we're going to get down to. I read off the names, so in your spare time, they could be one at a time or something, and we can actually see who these guys are and what they actually all about. You know what I'm saying? Keyshawn versus Peter will be a great fight. Abdullah Mason versus Kid Austin. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. Salute familiar. Salute Puerto Rican boxing. Eso seria Melazar. Yes, sir. I think the 135 pound is the most competitive. 135 or 140. When the 135s want to act like 135s and not 130s. Maxie said no mob. Wow. Shakur versus Peter don't motivate me to watch. Peter versus Lomachenko, I like it better. I can see that argument. Shakur got to step up, man, and got to really bust the pinata open. You know what I'm saying? Puerto Rican power. Bless. Maxie was old warrior for a young Zepeda. The only reason I don't complain about the fights because it was a title eliminator. Exactly. Champ Sports Boxing. Max said good against Camboso. Yeah, Max did look good. Yeah, he did look good. He did look good. He did look good. Very good. He won that fight, in my opinion. I can't see the names. Are too blurry. Oh, wow. Zepeda was just too much. Exactly. That's true, Melazar. No one checked the rankings or start calling fantasy fights. Golden Boy Promotion are way inclined to the red corner. Maxie went to collect the check. This type of boxers are harming Zepeda. But y'all see what we do, man. We're going to go to the rankings, man. I still got the rankings. I can pull the rankings up right now. Zepeda versus Loma is one I want to see if Loma wins. It's a good setup. WBC got tight ties with Golden Boy. It's easy for Zepeda to be #1. That's why I want IBF for Zepeda. I think Zepeda stops Loma. I hope so. Oh my goodness. You wouldn't know how happy I would be, man, to see William Zepeda stop Lomachenko, especially with a body shot. Especially with a body shot. Loma's not easy work, in my opinion, champion. Loma tough, gives a good fight. That's why it will be great fight. Loma like to fight. Imagine if Zepeda does what T.O. and Haney couldn't. That would be tough, champs. Flame emojis from Melazar. Big up, Sam. Salute, Sam. I think Zepeda stops Keyshawn, to be honest. Yeah, my man. Sam, we back. You know what I'm saying? Coach Panda got this dude's making fighters quit. Yeah, man. 4th round. I was calling on in real time, too. When you go back and look at it, I had to go back and review it, as always. Let's get them. Salute, Sam. I really appreciate that energy, man. I love when people come through, man, with that energy. Yes, your core needs to crack some pinatas and motivate the fans. Jose Rodriguez. What's good? Body work. What's on the agenda? Man, we really just went over box rec a little bit, man. We went over the 135 division. You know what I'm saying? And then we also went over the article with the Brill Matias. And how, you know, what was said about there. Keyshawn Train is another beast. Zabril is in there with Cameroon, Zapata, and other spawn partners training, getting, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's always constant. Always constant. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like I come out and like kind of do, you know, something on the 135 division and where it stands and what's really going on, because I was somewhere else. We got to talking about it, and Williams Zapata holds a lot of keys to different cards when you look at it. He really does. And if he understands that, he can maneuver right. Simple as that. He number one for Tank. He number one for Shakur. It's like that alone. It's like, man, you got some leverage. Keyshawn brother was in Pro Box last Wednesday, another best, and got the same trainer. You talking about Kelvin? Yeah, I reach out to Kelvin too, man. I'll be saying what's up to Kelvin. I've been watching Kelvin, man. Kelvin, he has the frame and the style. If he just continue to develop and just continue to develop, like if he just said, you know what, for the next 2 years, I ain't going for nothing. For the next 2 years, I'm just gonna continually develop and just work on my weight to where I'm the lowest that I can be, but be the most powerful. But with those length and those dimensions, man, if he really mastered boxing, I would see with that frame and how we fight, I would see that impossible to defend. That's just me. They call it not the Terror Squad, but something similar. Oh, wow. I love Shakur, but my boy is Abdullah Mason. I've taken over any of the new babies. I feel you. It can be very frustrating. Kelvin, Silver Davis. No, I respect them, man. I respect them because Keyshawn does a lot of marketing for himself online. At first I thought it was annoying, but it's like, hey, you gotta stay relevant. Like who am I to say that you shouldn't be relevant? Y'all can't hear me? Oh, wow. Okay. Can you hear me now? All right, Mailers. Okay. Now, okay, cool. Dang, no audio. We can't hear you. We can't. I'll be working. I'll be on my high season on all angles. I'm excited about my shit. Okay. All right. Okay. My man said, I like that background, bro. Salute. I appreciate it. I try to do something different, I said. Now I was like, all in good hands. I'm going to PR for mid-June to take it all out, take it all in on my soul. Salute. I'm trying. You know what I'm saying? Subrero got a really tough task this June because Pyro is hungry for gold. Yeah, Pyro ain't nothing to shake a stick over. Yeah, a lot of the times, man, a fighter's reputation can make you forego what an opponent actually brings to the table. Liam Pyro was a solid guy. Melazar Consable, he said, there you are. You know what I'm saying? Yes, bro. Just thanks for doing what you do. We need more people like this that call it like it is. That's why I'm saying, man, I know this a lack. I know it's a deficit, Sam. Salute. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited for Matias versus Paros. I want to get my tickets already. I'm in the same boat, champ. I see Abdullah like a smaller version of Boots. They even use the same boxing outfits. Yeah, I just think that Abdullah, he don't do a little bit of the extra stuff that Boots do. He's a little bit more sharp, if I want to be honest, on all angles. I can't. I will be working. Will be on my high season. Oh, okay, cool. You're on mute. That's when you told me. Yup. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. No audio. No audio. Okay, cool. So now, I think we're good. Okay. So champ say now we're back. Y'all good? Yes. It's all good now. Yes. And I apologize. But yeah, that's really what I wanted y'all to see. I wanted y'all to see the rankings so that when we get exposed to like some of these people that's in the 135 division, you're not like, well, who are they? That's why I tried to show you. I think I did show you. Let's see. When I go over here to present. You gotta go here. And the homework is, if you can, in the in between time, right here, you want to know who this guy is, Dennis Baranchak. You want to know who this guy is. This is probably the bottom of the totem pole guy. Pablo Vicente. Well, we already know who Andy Cruz is. We know that. On this one, Chan Thompson, Fradmil Makayo, Albert, Vatira Gaziev, Gary Cully. I would want to know who those people are. Same thing here. Dennis Baranchak, even though a lot of people know Dennis Baranchak. Juan Javier Carrasco, Lucas Baldi, Angel Fierro, only because Angel Fierro, he's down here, number 13. He's number 2 up here. Behind the guy that I told you I need to know who he is. Dennis Baranchak, Angel Fierro, haven't seen him. Don't know who Sheriff Quay is. We know who Edwin De Los Santos is. Sam Noacas and Katsuya Yasada. So if you say 1, 2, 3, 4, that's on the list when you pretty much know everybody. So that's what I was getting at. You know what I'm saying? We need to get familiar with them so when 135 actually comes open and everybody understands what's going on, then we can speak from a position of power and not from a position of lack. Because a lot of times when people be talking, they be speaking from a position of power, but until somebody actually challenge them on the facts and that it's real, it's like you're going to assume that what they're saying is real. And 9 times out of 10, it's really not. And Jose Rodriguez came through, says Baranchak is the one fighting Navarrete for the vacant WBO. So that makes sense. That's the only one I had questions with before I actually showed it. But in order to understand, you actually got to kind of like understand how everything goes. And that's this. Like right now, after that fight last night, he was already over here rocking. Number 1. He was over here rocking. He was number 1. Over here, number 6. Up here, number 3. Everybody got their eyes on that. Frank Martin, he getting ready to get this guy. So most of the time, they say anything in the top 15. So all the way down to Francisco Pantera, Roger Gutierrez, Andy Cruz, and Andy Cruz. All the way until the bottom. They're still representing, y'all. Still representing. Let me see something. Baranchak is the one fighting Navarrete for the vacant WO. Yep. Yeah, Liam Paro ain't no walk in the park. Right. Dennis Baranchak is a Ukrainian professional boxer. As an amateur, he won silver medals in the light welterweight division at 2011 World Championships and at the 2012 Summer. He's undefeated, riding a good wave. WBO is bigger in Europe. Plus, he's young. Andy Cruz is a beast. You will see. I think that fight is going to be harder than we think. For some reason, I think so too. 2025 and 2026 will be Andy Cruz time. All right, y'all. So let me do this, y'all. So I do want to get this. Let me mute this. And this is going to be something to let y'all know how I stand and what I was on, man. I hate to really be on this, but you have to. What did this say, y'all? Hitman by stoppage, finesse, sweet hands, both available now. Power Hitman. You can see how the thumbnail went better. Look at my man. My man, elbows missing. All this. This was a 12 minute and 28-second video. Right? I just want to make sure. But let's run it back. When I was a casual, I thought as a casual, I spoke like a casual, and I looked at boxing like a casual. But when I became a hardcore, I put away all those casual things. This is Michael Rogers, and welcome to BodyWorkBoxing. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to BodyWorkBoxing. It's a new day. It's a new time. It's always a time when the calendar is being represented as a new day. It's a time for a refreshing, a restoration, a fresh start, where we start from scratch. I'm still finding that some of our counterparts out here in these YouTube streets are still on that bullshit. But I digress. I'm going to accentuate the positive. I'm going to talk about something that's been brewing in me for a while now, because I do these videos and it's called Hate O'Clock. Hate O'Clock. Around the corner, 24/7, 365. We can always find people that are going to always harp on the negative. Why? Drama spreads faster. Why? Salaciousness is at an all-time high. And this past year, the Charlos both caught a lot of flack. I'm going to focus in on Jamal Charlo in this video. And I want to add that, the fight with Montiel, he won 10 out of 12 rounds. He hit Montiel with everything in the kitchen sink. And, in one of my older videos when I was on that fight and the surroundings and about how he didn't have any support on Juneteenth and how everybody was crying a motherfucking river, about the fact that it was just one black guy and all these Hispanics. People are always going to cry about something. Never celebrating that this man and his brother actually got the keys to the city, and it was a homecoming fight for him. And he didn't have his support. He didn't have our support. You know, in the fight, he suffered a broken hand. He actually showed that his hand was broken. And, you know, typically we want to say around 4 to 6 months it takes an injury like that to actually heal. So here we are in January. It's all this talk about Andre and how he's getting ready to move up to 168. Why? Because he got an ass whooping by a guy named Janabek coming down the pike. That fight is actually going to purse bid. Why? I don't know, because Eddie is supposed to be Mr. Moneybags, even though he's not. I'm not even going to get into that. Supposedly, Jamal Charlo turned down an offer from Canelo, and he turned down an offer from Andre. And also, allegedly, when asked, Ronnie Shields had no information on Charlo's next whereabouts. I'd like to welcome everybody who's been locked in, tuned in, and watching and rocking with your boy, Mr. Rogers, as I cover these boxing events and I cover my marquee fighters. Jamal the Hitman Charlo is one of my marquee fighters. I think I might have to cue Mr. Roy Jones. Y'all must have forgot. He's a 2-division champion, 154 and 160. One Canelo Alvarez ducked this man at 160. He's in the same boat as Devin Haney when it comes to having been ducked by one of the faces of boxing. He's actually looked upon as only wanting a payday, and I'm like, Eureka! Captain Obvious is prize fighting. And we've been denying Charlo his chance at one Cinnamon Ginger Alvarez for a very long time. I call him the gingerbread man because I know a motherfucking gingerbread man when I see one. But I digress. This video is about Jamal Charlo. I did a whole set on the rise of Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant severely disappointed me. I'm not going to lie. I lost money betting on Caleb Plant. I am a realist. The same energy that he had before the fight was not the same energy that he had inside of the ring during the fight. You don't ask another man who you in close quarters with in combat when, I'm a great fighter, right? No, you don't do that. But he did. And I don't know if it was the Mafia, because it was reported that the Mafia had threatened Caleb Plant that if you're not winning this fight, the same way Cam Newton was threatened that time when he faced the Denver Broncos, and it looked like in the pregame that he was already getting ready to lose the fight. Got a video about it in the post-fight. Caleb Plant, Canelo, Cinnamon, Gingerbread, Alvarez. In the video, you can go check it out. I want to save you guys some time. My question is, why can't a fight between Caleb Plant and Jamal Charlo happen right now? Right now. Everybody's saying, oh, what is Charlo going to do? He's so inactive and we haven't heard from him, and they don't. I have to point this out, y'all. I really have to point this out. I'm sorry that I have to pause it, but I gotta point this out. This is why I be trying to tell y'all. This is why you gotta rock with your boy. Cause let's look at this. This was January the 2nd, 2022. Caleb Plant, Jamal Charlo, Bodywork Boxing. Summary: the perfect window to both resurrect and reinvigorate both Caleb Sweethand Plant and Jamal Hitman Charlo's career is right now. A statement victory by Plant could garner a rematch with Canelo Alvarez. A statement win by Jamal Charlo could silence his critics and all but guarantee a showdown with the Cinnamon King. Question: why not next? Jamal Charlo, Caleb Plant, Bodywork Boxing, Canelo Alvarez. Don't tell me I don't be on it, y'all. January the 2nd, 2020. Look, I only got 60 views. Don't say I don't be on it, y'all.
If everyone really considered the man had an injured hand, how many months did that take? We saw reports of him out with red cups, red solo cups. I mean, red solo cups they're disposable. We can't assume that there was alcohol in it. We seen him and his brother. I remember a while ago when your favorite content creators was actually trying to build up a fight between the two twins. That's when I thought boxing was at an all-time low. When you're trying to get two twins fight each other. It's never going to happen. Anyways, I believe that Jamal Charlo would actually... I think Jamal Charlo can beat Canelo Alvarez. If he's such easy work, then Canelo would have just got that check. Because you know they was going to have to bring the bag. After all, you are Mr. Canelo Alvarez. But I'm going to focus my attention on Caleb Plant and Jamal Charlo. And I don't really understand why. I don't really understand why a fight like that can't happen. I believe that Jamal Charlo did what he needed to do. He's a 2-division champ. He also has the complicated issue, just like when him and his twin was at 154, of them competing in the same division. Unless he moves up, once Jamel actually gets undisputed, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed for the young man that he's going to do that, then he's going to move up to 160. Once Earl Spence gets undisputed, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that he does that, he's going to move up to 154. So it's a trickle-down effect. And right now, I'm thinking, okay, well, if Caleb Plant was the goods, and Jamal Charlo really wants to fight with Cinnamon, Ginger, then the fight between Caleb Plant and Jamal Charlo needs to happen right now. Right now. I got Jamal the Hitman Charlo stopping Caleb Plant. I'm not flinching. I think that Jamal Charlo is a fighter that fights to the level of his competition. I think that he got a bad rap for the fight with Montiel because Montiel knows that he was on his last string. He was on his last hoorah or whatever, and he had the will. And he also had an audience, you know, because the crowd catered to his people, you know, people that wasn't like Charlo, even though he was in his hometown. And it was just one of them nights where Jamal Charlo couldn't get him out of there. You know, he was dealing with a Mexican warrior who had a lot of pride, had a lot of people looking at him, and that changes. And in our community, we put a lot of things into these fights. I mean, so what? It's just like when Tank and Cruz fought. Tank had a broken hand, but nobody wants to bring that up. All they want to say is bad performance. It wasn't a bad performance. He was on his way to stopping Cruz. Jamal Charlo was on his way to stopping Juan Montiel. Yeah, Montiel caught him a couple times, but he buckled Montiel several times. He hit him with everything in the kitchen sink, and he's a very powerful guy. It was just one of them nights where a knockout wasn't in the question. Oh well, and getting caught in boxing is just one of them things. But right now, I would love to see Jamal Charlo and Caleb Plant. I have the Hitman by stoppage. I would love to know what you think about it. Body work.
All right, I believe you, but my Tommy don't. Get down on your knees and tell me you love me.
Y'all tell me. What y'all really got to realize is the time in which I wrote that video. That's why I be saying, man, I be the only one brave enough to step out and stand out at the time when it's actually going on. It's real easy to come back with hindsight, but like, oh, so this and that. But it's like, no, in real time, who was actually saying that and pointing out what was actually really going on with the division and the timing of everything and how people actually pick their opponents and all that. That's why instead of complaining about it, what I said was I got to get ahead of it and I got to come up with solutions to actually prevent it. So by giving you a flashback of something I said back in the day when I was recommending Caleb Plant and Jamal Charlo 2 years ago, everybody was saying I was crazy. Guess what? That's the rumblings now. You got the infamous slap. You got all of that. That's the rumblings now. Was I crazy or was I ahead of my time? Because that was the purpose of actually showing the video, that Caleb Plant and Jamal Charlo needed to fight. You know what I'm saying? And that they might be the solution to actually getting a Canelo fight again, even though Caleb Plant actually experienced a fight with him. I felt like it was bogus. I've never seen Caleb Plant do anything like that. And I'm not saying that Canelo Alvarez doesn't have power, but for him to like hunch over like that and, you know, fall down like he's never got hit in the head before and then get back up and fall down, I thought that was a little bit, shall I say, theatrical. But I was saying this 2 years ago. That's the whole purpose of me actually showing that tonight, is because this is the reason why I actually showed the rankings for the 135-pound division, because I want you to start getting to know these names. Start understanding who's all in the mix and what's actually happened, because William Zepeda now he's number 1 under Tank Davis for the WBA. For the WBC, I think he's what, number 2? He's number 1 in the WBA. Number 1, WBC. Number 6, even though I'm sure he'll jump up because Maxie Hughes was number 4. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be number 3 in IBF the next time it comes out. He's number 3 in the WBO. That's what I want y'all to actually see. And I actually also want y'all to be able to see that there are other people around, in and around. Chan Thompson, you know what I'm saying? Fratmil Makayo, Albert Batargiev, Dennis Baranchek. If you don't know who that is, everybody should know who Baranchek is. Sharif Quay, Sam Norcus, Juan Javier Carrasco, Gary Cully, Shuma Nakazoto, Pablo Vincente. Because a lot of people didn't know who Artem Haratunian was. You kind of want to brush up on these names, man, because you'll be gaslit by saying, oh, man, who knows him, man? Who knows his name? No, we have time to figure out who they are before they fight. We got time to figure out who they are before they fight. Whether or not we have the patience or the endurance to actually go through it, who knows? That's just me. I'm just here to put a stake in the ground to let everybody know that, hey, man, we holding it down. Can't get over on us. That's crazy. Never know about that situation. I'm trying to tell you, man. When you look at how Caleb Plant got hit, he was up on the scorecard. Then he got hit. Then he landed on the sidelines. He stood up, got hit, stood up, went down like somebody hit him in the head again. I'm like, man, that was just. I know orchestration when I see it. You got Charlo. How long we don't see Charlo in the ring? See, I don't know if it be a communication barrier sometimes, but sometimes I think you be missing the illustration with the demonstration, man. Sometimes I be trying to show you something to actually show you something that I said back in the day as it relates to now. If you look back in the day, at that day and time, they both were available back then. If this was 2 years ago, this was January the 7th, 2022, when I made this video. You know it's rumbling that they're getting ready to fight now, right? Which means I was 2 years ahead of my time. Because if you fast forward 2 years, Caleb Plant had already lost to Canelo Alvarez. Jamal Charlo hadn't even fought him yet. So at that point in time, for them to fight each other would give them reason. One, the winner, we get the rematch. The loser, he would be in question. Or somebody who want to see, like, hey, okay, cool. Could I get past this guy? So that's the moral of the story on that. That's why I be saying hindsight is 2020. You can't do that. I'm trying to show y'all what I be on in real time. I called it 2 years ago. They're talking about fight now. This is what I be trying to tell y'all, man. I be on stuff. It's a curve. Sometimes my curve is 3 weeks. This is evidence that sometimes my curve is 2 years. I be 2 years ahead of time. Salute, Jose. What's good, BodyWork? Salute, Bloodshot. You know what I'm saying? Salute. I'm with you. 2 years ago, Plant didn't stand a chance against Jamal. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So this is why it's important to actually get these things out, because there has been a change, man. People be acting like, and see, this is the part of gaslighting. People be acting like these things didn't occur, or these things didn't happen, or they couldn't have. Or the way things were back then is the way they were now. We already know that that's not the case. Not every fan goes that far. I got the 2 years after I wrote, I was working with the plants. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's only a lesson, man. Like, I'm telling you, I don't trap people. I don't trap people or ensnare, or, you know what I'm saying? Y'all my peoples. I wouldn't do that. I'm just here to show y'all some things, to actually let you know when I be saying something, I'll be like way ahead of time sometimes. This shit got to slow down for me. That's why sometimes I take a step back and move away, because if I don't have anything good to say, it's because I already know what's about to happen before it happened. And think about it. If I did a way back Wednesday, a throwback Thursday, a flashback Friday, that would catch us up a lot, but that still wouldn't do us justice. That's why I'm only going to do one when it's actually relevant. And since people are talking about Caleb Plant and Jamal Charlo now, I said, let me go back do a state of boxing and talk about how I see it now versus how I saw it back then. And right now in the 135 division, I think that Tank and Frank needs to happen. I think that Shakur Stevenson needs to fight Raymond Morataya to satisfy his deal with ESPN, even though it's a common theory that if you're with Jay Prince, you're going to be re-signed to Top Rank. If you're with Jay Prince, you're going to do business with Top Rank. Whether or not Bob wants to convert his power play from T.O. and Tank to Shakur and Tank, that's really going to be on Bob. Any conversation around Tank and fighting either one of them guys, Teofimo Lopez or Shakur Stevenson, it will actually be dictated by whatever ramification that's going on with Bob. Even though lately, because Bob has taken a step away, Bob has publicly come out and say that sometimes day-to-day operations, the thing that's going on, he's not a part of that. Bob Arum in himself, he's on a need-to-know basis. There's been a couple other people that's been running the company like slightly different. And you can actually tell that they actually have more, they actually embrace more ethnicity than anybody. So when you look at what Jared Anderson was able to display in 3 fights, just coming to the ring in the handcuffs, representing his brother, getting the commercial time, getting the interviews where he was actually, talking about what happened with him and his brother and how his brother got, locked up. All that good stuff. They've actually turned the new page because remember, the narrative was that Top Rank could not promote black fighters. And that's one of the reasons that was listed in the whole lawsuit where Terrence Bud Crawford actually sued Bob Arum until he, got put up into a corner and was going to start costing too much money for him to proceed forward. So these things are not, like, I don't bring these things out of my tail. I bring these things to actually educate, to inform, to actually let you know that there are some people that are actually watching, waiting, like really trying to make light and be truthful about these things so that we can have a clear conscience when we actually talk boxing. Hindsight is 2020. It's the same thing as a Monday morning quarterback. Where all the games are played from Saturday morning all the way to Sunday evening, maybe even one on Monday, but with the exception of the one being Monday. Any analysis given after pro fight on Sunday, more than likely, Monday morning quarterback. Or people who had that went to sleep. Like I said, we can watch a boxing match today, believe and see and know everything that actually happened. We can go to sleep. We can wake up only to see that somebody that actually creates content, we believe in them. We want to support them. We like them. Like 97% out of 100, we are rocking with them all the way. It is that 3%. It is that 3%. It's that small window to where you really doubt and you don't know for sure. Well, where I was raised, the way I was taught, the camaraderie is like, yes, we're going to make sure that that's airtight. Why? Because when you get off, we check you. We check each other. We make sure that we're up to par. We're up to speed. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. It's a camaraderie. That's what we got to do with these boxing talks, man, for it to all make sense. Sometimes we got to go back in the past. We actually got to show what actually happened in the past, represent what's going on in the future, to be able to interpret what's going on or make honest assessments or just evaluate some things under the right light. Yikes. But that's the lesson for tonight, man. I hope y'all got something from it, like always. You know what I'm saying? I was like, how you change clothes so fast? Yeah. I got the 2 years after I was working. Yeah, but yeah, man, it's all good, man. It's all fun and dandy, man. Like, it's just always to learn and to grow. That's all this is about. You know what I'm saying? I am trying to get to Puerto Rico, so salute the channel. You know what I'm saying? Support the channel. You know what I'm saying? Contribute to the channel. You know what I'm saying? So we can, I do work a regular job. Salute so I can get to these fights and I can come out and, you know what I'm saying, we can rock out. Nobody checks their old videos. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But salute, support the channel. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, donate to the channel if you can. That's going to go specifically to actually attending these fights. Period. You know what I'm saying? Attending these fights. That's what it's going to contribute to. So I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate everybody who always come on and support all my people, man. I got big love for y'all, man. Especially my core audience, man. We only get this kind of nuggets in a channel like this. That's what I'm saying, man. People going to see this. They're going to, like, I ran into a channel like this, man. Me and dude was doing the same thing at the same time. Only, I found out about him about 6 months before he actually died. He died. I was already listening to him. And as time went on, I think 6 months went by. He died in the process of me knowing who he was. But he was all over it. He was all over it, man. We were doing the same thing. He was from out here in Baltimore, too. Had no clue who he was or what he was doing or what he was speaking about. Doing the same thing, man. But we all got a purpose, man. I believe that this is one of mine, actually sharing and opening and actually really calibrating people's thoughts on how they actually see these things. Because, man, there's some people with the gift of gab. They'll talk and talk and talk. They'll spin you all around and have you convinced of some stuff that you don't even have proof of. All I can do is put a stake in the ground, continue to march forward the flag, and keep pumping that truth and be myself. That's it. I appreciate everybody who come through and show your boy love. For real, for real. I really do. Thank you. I salute. But thanks for everybody who tuned in to Bodywork Boxing. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga, right? Oh, okay, you want to go to sleep. You tired.
Welcome to